Ever visit a place that was so different you just didn't want to leave? Step into the amazing world of Father Fish Aquarium. You'll be mesmerized by his exotic collection of saltwater and freshwater creatures, tanks and accessories, plus birds, lizards, turtles, and more. You'll never find another place like it on dry land. Father Fish Aquarium, 536 East Venice Avenue. You won't want to go home.
Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may
Get up
be.
and dance.
Talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
All right. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Good, Charlie.
I couldn't get my dancing shoulders. I couldn't get them moving.
Yeah. Well, we kind of caught everybody off guard this morning.
Yeah.
Mary Fish dug up an old advertisement that we had. Oh, golly, it's been 7, 8 years ago we made it. It was a professional piece. We had a local production studio come in and make it for us. They did a 30-second and a 15-second. You saw the 30-second. And if you recognize the voice, you probably heard him hundreds of times. If you watch radio, watch TV, or listen to your radio, he is the voice of the World Wrestling Federation, and has done much of the advertising for all of the big acts in Las Vegas. So it's called The Voice. Ed the Voice. Been around a long time. Good friend of the shop. He's a pet nut. Got lots of animals. And
So does he live over by you then?
Pardon?
Does he live over by you then?
Yeah, he does. He lives here on the island. Yeah, he's close. He comes in once a week or so. We'll get him up here sometime. Try to get him in early.
That'd be neat.
That'd be fun. So what Mary Page discovered, though, in the process of doing that, of finding that, is that we have a second channel. Thomas has been wanting me to set up a second channel to do things like the vlogs on it and so forth. But we've already got it. So I'm going to talk to him when he gets in, and we'll link it up with this one. You can go to that channel and sign up, please. It's The Father Fish. It'll be linked by the end of the day. It's only got a little bit on it, nothing new. Everything on it is 8 to 10 years old. I had a friend who was my computer tech who insisted that I get on YouTube 12 years ago. Said, you got to do this. You got to do it. And I didn't got to do it, apparently, because I didn't do it. He came in and he made a series of videos. He was all hot to try to do it. And I just kind of blew it off. Didn't really have any sense of what it was or what it was about. So here we are starting up 12 years later. And we're doing okay. Thank you very much. Probably as well
Never
as
too late.
we would have otherwise. That's right. So nothing lost. We're good. We're good to go. And we got a fish fan behind us. So
That's right.
that right.
What a wonderful
I feel like
family.
it's changed.
Super close.
YouTube has changed a lot since it started.
Right.
I think the coolest one was the one where you there's one that's called Moving the Fish or something like that, but it's like where Father Fish just originally opens the store. The mural hasn't even been painted yet. And it shows, like, I guess when you built the aviary and
Really?
everything. It looks pristine. You know, you could tell you had just set everything up.
Wow.
I'll have
I
to
don't
find that one
remember
for you
that one
next.
at all. That's interesting. Cool.
I see.
All right. Well,
It's pretty cool.
Holly
Nice.
Gibbs has said, I composed a funny Father Fish song to the Addams Family theme,
Oh, I love it.
but she's not sure how to combine the two, she says.
Combine the two what?
Probably take the music to what she wrote and put them together.
Oh yeah,
That's the tricky part.
That is the
Like-
tricky part.
like Lee did with his song.
Yeah, you might talk to Aquatic Conquest about it.
Hmm.
He'll probably be able to help you do it, Holly.
I'm missing
That's
some
what-
of my chat.
Oh, I probably am. Yeah.
A couple of our members are talking about putting together a Christmas carol, a selection of Christmas carols, Father Fish Christmas carols. So y'all might be thinking about that, trying to come together, right? We'll come together with some Father Fish Christmas caroling. That would be fun. Oh, come all you faithful. Really. Joyful and triumphant.
Oh yes.
Come ye,
I
come
love
ye
the
to
Christmas song.
Father Fish land.
Let's see. Hey, you see Misfits, don't you, Cassie, at 8:07?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, just copied it.
Okay.
Father Fish.
See, I wish I could do that. I literally have to write stuff down, and
Yes.
I'm more like winging it, you know. I'm not
Well,
very
and that's
professional.
why Lee did the karaoke version, because he paid for
Yeah,
that. So
Yeah.
I've got to
I think if you do it that way, it's okay.
walk away from it. Yeah, the rubber.
Sorry, I got a message. I'm trying to find that other video. Let's see. Maybe we can put it on there and we can see it. Who does? I sent it to Alex last night. Hey, Alex, how did your house hunting go last night?
Was he house hunting?
I think so. Oh, Holly wants to know what the favorite Christmas song is too.
What is
For
his
Father
favorite?
Fish. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have so many.
Yeah, 12
personally.
Days of Christmas, Aquarium Cop says. That's going to be a great one. That's going to be a really good one. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear that one. Mine will be, I forgot what's the name of it. It's the one that says, I can't sing. Do you hear what I hear?
Yeah.
A bell. Saying bell. I'm going to figure it out though.
Okay.
Oh, I like
Good morning, Al. Wet socks. Yeah, I've got that one's mine. So,
Ah,
do you hear what? I can't get that note this morning. I hear a bell, ringing throughout the land with good tidings of plants and sand. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now.
Well, I have my dentist on the phone. They're looking at the shark. Apparently, are digging back into the ark.
Oh no, Alex. Alex says he
just
got
came
sick.
down with like the flu symptoms. It sounds like.
Have
Could
you
be
been
COVID.
exposed? I know.
It sounds like COVID if you're achy and have a fever.
Mm.
And then T-Bone says he's not feeling well either.
Yeah, I miss T-Bone. Where was he at? I was looking for his. I didn't even see him come in.
He's
Oh, there he is. I
he
see it
said
now.
he's not feeling well.
Oh no, he had 101-degree temperature. Sorry, y'all. I hope everybody stays safe and well, and take your vitamins and vitamin C and D, and drink plenty of water.
Yes, lots of water.
Plenty
Stay
of water.
hydrated. Yeah, that was because I was getting like a little lightheaded, and I still definitely need to keep up on my water, or I start to get like symptoms in my neck, and like if I turn my head too fast, I'll feel a little like off in my equilibrium.
Yeah. I know you said you couldn't.
Last night as well. It was like waking up in the middle of the night. My head felt kind of strange. I was like, I just want to go back to sleep.
How long did you say the fevers lasted? Just a couple of days, or just like one day? Sorry, Father. We're sitting here talking. He might need us.
No, it's fine. I'm
you're just waiting on the dentist
to get back to me.
Are you gonna get you some gaskets? Didn't you say you blew?
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know if she ever calls back. I may just hang up. Let her call me back. It's taking too long.
Oh, they're coming up with some good songs.
Now I was feverish for like 2 or 3 days, off and on.
I know that was when you when we kind of first started this.
Yeah, and then like even like a week or two later, like it would kind of come and go, but like less, I guess, less and less.
Misfit wants to know about plants. Misfit, I can include plants in this order if you like. I just got it today, so I can get that out. What's today? Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it out Monday, and I can include plants in there. There are plants listed on the Get Gill site, and I think I also had plants listed on the website at fatherfishaquariums.com. So you can go to other place to order.
You probably did.
Anyway, you want to do that, and if you are curious about something that's not listed, send me an email, fatherfish@fatherfish.net, and I'll be happy to.
You know what's funny about Alex saying he thinks he got sick after he went to the dentist? Ironically, I was at the dentist Wednesday for ortho, and I was getting like my braces checked, and then by Saturday I started feeling weird. So I thought, you know, I could have either gotten from my son or from the ortho.
That is kind of a coincidence there.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, I saw Mama kissing Father Fish instead of Santa Claus.
Oh dear! Oh, I love it! I love it.
Sharpies.
That's funny.
Oh, Sharpie's trying to remember one.
T-Bone's saying he's not sick. He was talking about Alex.
Oh, well, okay. Glad you're okay, T-Bone. I'm going to worry about you, though.
Yeah, I guess I read that wrong.
Oh. Okay, Misfit says that sounds good, Father Fish.
Yeah. Yeah,
we have 529.
When you do that, T-Bone, don't worry about the shipping charge. If it adds it in, I will either refund it or if you want, I can just add more plants to cover that. There will only be one shipping charge. So if you wind up ordering a second time through Get Gills, it'll charge you a second shipping charge, but I will not charge you 2 shipping charges. It'll go together as one, and I will either refund the difference if you want me to, or I will add more plants to make up the difference.
Did
So
you say T-bone, or do you mean Misfits, right?
Yeah, Misfits.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Did I say T-bone?
I think you did, and I was like lost for a second.
Yeah, my brain's not working real well here.
Well, we're a good team today.
Look,
I always feel like foggy.
Oh my goodness.
Anemia.
Yep.
Yeah,
we got
Misfits is doing 5 29-gallon planted tanks. She's ordering the soil additive, and I'm guessing like they're probably not going to be tall tanks, so maybe some mid-ground plants and foreground plants.
who are you talking about?
Who we've been talking about with the plant order, Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics.
Oh, Misfit. Okay. Okay.
She was just asking if you had any good ideas on the plants, and I was recommending probably mid-ground if they're not going to be very tall tanks.
Oh, Holly Gibbs wanted to know what your favorite Christmas song is, Father Fish. Did you say already?
No, I don't think I said. I don't know. How about Silent Night? Let's do Silent Night. That's
a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I like the Little Drummer Boy too. I like that tune, or what, you know.
Oh yeah. Said light cover top cut, light cover.
Alex nailed it. He said, with all of our powers combined, we equal at least half of a sane fish keeper.
Yeah, really. God,
Maybe half of Alex.
And Misfit said some extra plants would work, and thank you.
okay, sounds good. That'll go
Hey,
out.
Science Gal.
We're going to try to figure out how to get it delivered in a few days.
People have. Oh, I was reading Rohan's comment there. People have more immunity in poorer countries against the virus as they get their hands dirty. Yep, that's the truth.
Holly,
we're
I have an emergency.
all the time.
My electricity is off. Holly's talking about her electricity being off.
Oh no.
If you have a tank that has a lot of fish in it, that's the only one you really need to be worried about because they could deplete the oxygen. If it's a few fish in each tank, they're going to be okay. You need to agitate the water. You can sit there in front of it and swirl the water with your hand until the electricity comes on, which could be 2 or 3 days. That gets old quick. You could take some of the fish out and put them in a separate container. The idea is to have the largest amount of surface space possible. So if you have some tubs that are appropriate, you can drain some water into them from your tank, just a few inches deep. Doesn't need to be deep at all, 2 or 3 inches. And that puts some of the fish in that. Got to get them spread out. If you can do that, then that will that'll resolve the main issue, which is adequate dissolved oxygen. It will happen automatically. The water has a natural current, and CO2 and O2 will exchange naturally as they always do, even in a tank where the water is still. so long as there are not too many fish in there, they'll be able to survive just fine. So the issue is, if you have a tank that's very heavy with fish, get some of the fish out of it, drain some water into a tub or a vat or some larger container. The bigger the better, just 2 to 3 inches, and put some fish in that. Kind of get it broken up, and you'll be fine. That's really all you need to worry about, unless there's going to be a temperature issue. If there is, that's a whole other can of worms. What you can do if there is a temperature issue is you can add hot water periodically, like every half hour to an hour. Add hot water. If you cannot make hot water, if you don't have propane or a wood stove, then you're kind of screwed. I don't know how you make hot water. There will be some left in your hot water heater. Just be conservative with it, and that'll last 8 to 10 to 12 hours. So do what you can to keep the temperature up above 70. Separate out the fish enough that they're not going to be stressed by having too many fish in one tank. If you see the fish going to the top and they're all breathing at the top, then you need to act on that. And you need to do so immediately. You need to drain some of the water into a larger container, only a few inches, and move some of the fish into there. That will resolve that issue. So the sign of stress is fish going to the top to breathe. If that happens, you need to deal with it. And you deal with it by getting the fish getting fewer fish in a body of water than you have. Divide them up. Get some other containers going. Doesn't matter what they are, so long as they don't have soap or chemicals or some other gunk in them. Can be anything. It doesn't matter. Anything that holds water that's got a large surface space. Surface space is the key. Don't put them in a bottle with a narrow neck and fill it to the top. That'll kill everything pretty quickly. Large surface space. That's the key. And keep us posted. If you have any other questions, don't be hesitant about asking. Yeah, I hope the electricity comes back on quickly, Helen.
Hey, Father Fish, what day was it you sent aquarium cops or fuzzy bunnies, no curly bunnies, cup tour? Was that Monday? I think it was Monday, wasn't it?
I sent it on Friday.
Oh, okay, on Friday.
So if they did not get it, is he saying they don't have it?
Yeah, he didn't get it yet. He was just wondering,
Okay.
yeah, when to expect it.
I will reship it Monday if you don't get it by the weekend.
Okay. I remember the day you had it because you showed it to me and was like, I'm getting this in the mail, but I can't remember what day it was.
I might have messed up the address. I don't know. I got his note about the address the day after I shipped it.
Oh, no.
I might have gotten it mixed up. So I'll just do another one. I'll do another one Monday. I'll get it. I'll get it, folks. I'll get it here. I've already shipped out 2 or 3 that were doubles.
Well, I want a whole set of them.
A few too.
Can I get a whole set for my family?
Yeah, you bet. You bet. There we go.
And like I said, whenever you think you're doing something in your aquarium, just set it right there. Like when those fish start begging to eat, I show them to it. I do this.
Right. Well,
you look at them.
Go hungry, guys. Find your own food.
I never see my black skirt tetras searching for food.
Yeah.
They always just hang out near the glass.
I think you talking about aerators, and Alan too told me about something, and you may know about it too, Cassie, but Mark Shrimp Tanks uses them, but it's like this little infuser thing that has like peroxide in it, or so, like I can't remember, but anyway, it releases like oxygen into the water.
Yeah,
What is that little thing?
well, there's a problem with using peroxide. It's an oxidizer, and it can kill the fish. If
Right.
you put too much, if you put too much in, it's
Dangerous.
it'll kill the fish. Is what it'll do. You can use it as like an antiseptic or a disinfectant. It'll kill parasites. You can get rid of bacteria with it. You just have to be really cautious. It's a matter of drops per gallon, literally drops per gallon. And I don't have the formula in front of me. Plus the fact that there are different grades of peroxide. You can get
Yeah.
a higher concentration than what is commonly available in the pharmacy. I think that's like 2 or 3%. You can get 20 or 30%, and that's the one that drops per gallon. But if you use it, don't use much, because it'll the oxygen molecules or the oxygen molecules will attach to the slime coat and other parts of the fish's body and literally burn them off. So it's like any other kind of medication. It works because it's toxic. Medications generally work because they're toxic. It's a matter of controlling the toxicity. Here comes the Maryland blue crab. I really need to go out and get. I asked Betsy if she wants to go get crabs with me. There's a crab shack down in Punta Gorda, south of us, that I love. It's like being back in Maryland. Old blue crabs, big old blue crabs, and it's an old time crab shack. So I'm gonna go down there by myself if need be. What?
I have something to say when you're done.
Go for it. Yes.
Roman Shirox at 8:19 said, yesterday I collected a bucket of wild sand and a bucket of pea gravel from the north shore of Lake Ontario, west of Toronto. And he's planning to use it to redo his 20-gallon long.
That sounds wonderful. If you do the gravel as a dressing on top of the sand, it'll give you a nice appearance. And you can run a stick or a pencil or a net or something right along the front of the glass, and it'll help those the gravel to slide down in between there. So you can actually, it's a nice way to be able to clean up the front of the substrate, so you don't have that level. Some people like them. I kind of like it. I leave the levels in order to demonstrate to people how to do it. But if you don't like that look, you can run a pencil, or I use the end of my net or my finger right along the glass, right along the edge, down, all the way down to the bottom. And it'll bring sand all the way down. So all you'll see then is the sand or the gravel if you do gravel. Where did that go? I did it. And
You've got a super sticker from David Samsel.
Yes.
And
Thank you, David.
okay. And
Thank you
Aquarium
very
Cop would like the link if possible. He wanted to tell a little story. Think about the peroxide.
Already coming up.
Okay, sorry, Cass. That was all I needed to throw in there.
No, don't. You're fine. I wasn't talking.
Okay.
Good morning, Foxy. Your song was off my list this morning, Foxy. And I went to your page, and it's still up there, so I don't know quite why that happened. But I really would like to get some kind of video or visual on with it, so we could play that without having a blank screen would be nice. Let's see, he's not there yet. Oh, my eyes are burning. Where's my eye drops? Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Well, I've got these fans blowing on me. So.
Making them dry. You were outside in the wind all day yesterday, or, just out in the heat and wind.
Well, I tell you, Thomas had me going yesterday.
He did.
He really did. I mean, he did. He and I have not been out before, so he really doesn't have any idea what I'm looking for in terms of terrain.
Yeah.
He took me to a boat ramp up in a marsh tributary.
Oh goodness.
That was 6 foot deep. Had me out waist deep in this stuff. I was trying to live stream, and it would not hold a signal. Morning, Betsy.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Betsy. How are you today?
Hi.
With your beautiful smiling face.
Thank
I bet
you.
the animals are happy when you walk in.
So that's your hair up, Lou.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
She's part of it, so she
Yeah,
might as
right.
well accept it.
Yeah,
She's the original.
I think so too. Anyway, he got me into this, and I got going with it, and we're walking down alongside a mangrove outgrowth that comes all the way out into the water. A canal that's probably 25 feet wide goes to 6 foot deep. We're standing in 4 feet of water, so I'm up to up above my waist in the water, going through this. He said, "We need to go to there," and he pointed to a boardwalk that was a good 2 football fields away,
Oh no.
about 200 yards down the ditch. Well, we made it, and all the time I'm thinking, I'm following him, thinking, I've got this long pole in my hand. If an alligator bites me, I can try to jam it down its throat.
Oh no.
So
Did
we
he-
made.
Have
Now,
you seen
the other thing
it?
I think about is what season is it, and of course it's fall, so the males are not in breeding form, thank God.
Yeah.
So they're not being as aggressive. So anyway, we made it to the boardwalk, and we got there, and I said, "Well, where's the grass flats from here?" And he said, "That way, to the left." And I looked, and I said, "Well, how far is it? Is it under the bridge?" Because we were right alongside the highway at that point. Highway was up above us. He said, "Yeah, we have to go under the bridge." Well, there was another 100 yards walking alongside this boardwalk because you couldn't get up on it. It was enclosed. So I said, "Well, how do we get out of here?" He said, "Well, we could go this way to the right." And I looked, and of course the mangroves are growing right up to the edge of it and overlapping it. And I thought, well, maybe I can walk alongside this thing and kind of get out. And that's what I did. I went alongside it and was able to get up on dry land. And then we walked another, another half a mile to get somewhere else that turned into the walk through the woods that we did, that everyone enjoyed.
Where the wild hogs were after you.
The wild hogs, all that stuff. So we never made it there to the water at all.
Oh no.
We went to another place afterwards, didn't try to stream it. The wind was blowing and we were in basically open water, and we couldn't find the grass flats anyway. The tide was flooding, so it was kind of hopeless. We gave it up and came home. Oh dear, Holly is out of water. Well,
Yeah.
just siphon some water if you need to. Siphon some water out of an existing tank. If the water level goes down, it's not going to be a problem. Not nearly the problem that inadequate surface place. If it's a if you're challenged between the two, then go for more surface space and less water. If you have to make the choice between more water and less surface space, or less water and more surface space, go for less water and more surface space. It'll benefit you better. Ugh.
Did you mention don't feed?
No, I did not, but that is excellent advice. Do not put food in the water.
Oh.
Try as best you can to keep it
Oh.
clear of biologicals as you possibly can.
She said, no,
Well,
I've got water. You were out of water.
Yeah, really. It's ruined up. It's ruined up.
Well, speaking of collecting, what's happened? Is Frank okay? Is he doing all right?
Frank,
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. Frank is in a program that he's very excited about. It's a 28-day program, so
Oh yeah.
he'll be back with it. It's not a lockdown thing. You can come and go, but he's supposed to stay there at night. And it's a program that's going to teach him some skills about dealing with his addictions. So he's real excited about that. I've not heard from him, so hopefully it's going well. When he comes out, he has a job waiting for him, which is something I've been encouraging him to do for ever since I've known him. His background is in land reclamation, specifically the removal of invasive plant species. He's one of the top experts in Florida in that field, and has not worked in the field for, I don't know how long, 10 years or more. So he contacted one of the companies that he admires, and they hired him on the spot. So he's due in there when he gets out of the program to get started with them. He's very excited about it because it keeps him out in the woods and in the field, which is where he prefers to be. But it also gives him access to lots of bodies of water that are otherwise off limits. So he's very excited about that because we'll be able to get a lot of little animals we can't get now. So we're all very hopeful that this is going to all work out well and that he's on his way to recapturing the strength and the vigor and the excitement of his life. Well, I think the dentist is finally calling me back. I guess they found my records, Father Fish.
I saw Ro come in.
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm kind of curious how she's doing with her neck and
Yeah. I saw her. Can you come up and visit with us, Ro? Or you work? She might be working. I don't know.
oh right.
Yeah, I'm glad Frank is doing that. That's how you have to start, is get into, whether it's court ordered or you do it on your own.
Right.
You have to get tools. You got to learn coping skills, and I'm so glad he's getting help. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds good. So I wasn't sure if he was starting that or about to finish
Yeah.
it.
I think he started it maybe about a week ago, but I hadn't heard anything. I was just hoping he was okay.
Well, it's good that he's got a job lined up. So looking forward to that for him.
Yeah, that's pretty neat
Sounds
that
good.
he's an invasive species specialist or whatever. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm guessing that would that include plants or just the animals?
I think his specialty is just in the plants, but I'd say he gets into all of it. Oh, Rose said her neck problem's still there. Working a little early to ask for vacation. I got you.
No.
Hello,
Sorry, Ro. I
Taticia.
hope your neck gets better.
Yes. Y'all, like I said, my brain's not working the fastest, so I'm trying.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet because then when I start to think about calling a physical therapist, my aches and pains go away. So
Yeah.
I get like carpal tunnel in my hand.
Yeah.
And my foot starts to bother me every now and then, and it'll go like all the way up my leg almost. Because I had surgery on my foot when I started working to fix a stress fracture that caused a bunion.
Mm-hmm.
So, ironically, like I would get those aches and pains like Alex gets when the weather changes, which I don't get anymore. But now I have like different pains after the surgery, and I can't tell you which one's better or worse.
Yeah.
But now it's like it extends to my ankle and up to my calf.
Oh, goodness. There's Cop.
There's Cop, right?
There's Cop. Hey, Cop.
Good morning.
The copper is here. Here comes the fuzz. I used to love that when they called cops fuzz.
He'll be right back.
I'm muted to tell, okay, a little story. Okay.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Be right back. I'm always like, what's BRB mean? I do that though all the time. Be right back.
Sharpies, models, and aquatics says I'm more worried if I wake up and nothing hurts these days.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. I was waking up and I couldn't even put pressure on my foot. But now it's all better. But
so Ro is here. Hello,
Yes.
Ro. Happy to see you. Today's Friday. Is she work? Is she
No,
working
it's
today?
it's Thursday, but she's working.
It's Thursday. She
it's
is.
still
Okay.
Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Thank you
and
for that.
She's doing a live stream on tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Oh, good.
I've been trying to get. Oh, I'm sorry. There he is.
Cassie B, you got to blame the foot problem on that belly dance class where you got the foot fungus from the rub.
I know. I can't believe I said that yesterday. I was like, overshare. I was not on top of my game yesterday.
Yeah, when Cassie lets her hair down, it goes down about 1 inch.
Yeah. It's growing out. I'm going to go through that miserable stage of the grow out.
I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying it.
No, when it goes from here to here, that's like the worst stage for grow out.
Father Fish,
Yes, sir.
whether you're Father Fish or Thor, you cannot survive an alligator roll.
Oh no,
You're
I
done.
didn't understand.
an alligator roll. How many? Have you ever been chased by an alligator? Like, do you have any big stories?
Heavens, no.
Okay.
Well,
He wouldn't be here if he did.
You
Yeah.
just try to avoid them.
Right.
I was fantasizing about what I would do if my leg were bit off, and what I would have as a tourniquet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've got this notion that no matter what happens to me, I'm going to be fully conscious and alert and functional. And I'm not even that way now.
It's a good dream.
Well, Father Fish, I've been backstage since you were talking about peroxide, and I want to tell,
Oh,
and I
I'm
want,
sorry.
and I want to tell a story about it.
Please.
About 30 years ago, I learned about if you have black beard algae in your tank, you could like treat it with peroxide in a normal amount. All right. So I took a Glass Plus spray bottle, emptied it out, and I thought I was cleaning it. You know, I put water in the Glass Plus bottle and sprayed the water out, did it several times. I thought it was clean. So I put some peroxide and water in it, and then I sprayed the tank. But the ammonia still from the remnants or whatever from the Glass Plus killed everything in my tank, plants, fish, everything. So if you're ever going to do peroxide in a spray bottle, make sure it's a spray bottle you buy that's never been used for another product. And that was a terrible thing. I was so mad at myself. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Wow.
So there's
Yeah,
that.
I know, that's right. Ammonia is a real killer. Yeah, do not ever use
The slightest,
ammonia, like
the-
Windex.
no,
The
I
ammonia-
didn't use Glass Plus or ammonia, but I used the bottle, and I thought I cleaned the bottle out enough,
Yeah.
and I put peroxide and water in it, and then I sprayed it, and the slightest, I guess, whatever in that bottle just nailed everything. So everybody, word of warning: don't use just get a brand new spraying bottle. Don't use something you have in the cabinet thinking it's clean. It's not ever going to be clean.
Yeah, true enough.
And I want to say to Alex about the dentist. I've been off 3 days this week because I'm not going to a dentist. For the simple fact, I just feel really, I'll feel uncomfortable going to a dentist with a dentist putting his fingers in my mouth because I have a loose tooth which developed into an infection. So I've been doing. There's this new thing where you can go on your phone and have actually a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment on your phone.
Yeah, virtual visit.
Yeah, a virtual visit. And
That's a good trick.
the virtual visit is good because they'll give you the antibiotics, but once the antibiotics is done and you go 2 weeks later, it's still going to happen again because they're not pulling that tooth. So I don't know which way is better. Go to the dentist and get COVID or go to the virtual visit and they help you, kill the infection for 10 days and then you get it again and again and again. So what I did was I went to Amazon and I looked up molar puller, like a device, like a wrench.
Oh my
I'm just gonna pull my own shit out. Sorry to curse, but and that's it. Because I can't keep calling out of work because I don't want to go to a dentist and get COVID, but I can't keep calling out of work because the infection keeps coming back. So I'm just pulling this tooth out of my face one day.
My grandfather did that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Out of his head, every single tooth. He had no teeth, and he would not wear dentures. He refused to wear dentures.
It's a back molar. It's useless. It doesn't chew nothing, but it's messed up for whatever reason. And so, from me avoiding COVID, they gave me antibiotics, and it just keeps coming back. So I'm just gonna pull this thing out, and I'm gonna put 3 inches of sand on top of it.
Good idea. I would. They may be putting 6 feet of dirt on top of it.
No, never.
That's really a tough one. I don't know.
Aquarium salt. Pack it with aquarium. Rinse with salt water, aquarium cob.
Mercy.
Talking about pulling teeth and crocodiles and alligators. I mean, it's pretty scary.
We're done.
Let's comment at 8:46.
Who?
Ward Dunlap at 8:46.
Yeah,
yeah.
So is it. It's 8:50 is frightening. standing on the back of a 12-foot alligator. Thought it was a rock. Honest to God.
Could you imagine?
Mercy. I've done that with turtles. I did that with a snapping turtle when I was in high school. We went out on a collecting trip, and that sucker was like this. It was 40, 50 pounds. It was big.
Big one.
It was a rock in the middle of the marsh until it started to move. And I hollered. And everybody came running. And we dragged it out. It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
That's scary.
That would totally flip me out.
Thanks for the sand tip. Holly said thanks for the sand tip for her teeth.
Yeah, right.
I might have to do that to my husband. He needs to be capped with sand too. That's funny. Let's see.
Right.
Yeah, you can try a little Vicks Vapor Rub and just rub that next on like your cheek to help relieve tooth pain.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is the fumes
yes.
kind of get to your eyes and then your eyes start to sting.
Burn, that's right.
Sharpie
models. For anybody that sets up a rack, what's the one thing you forgot to get beforehand that you wish you thought of? Mercy. For setting up a rack.
Probably not enough lights.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what I did. Like putting the rack too close to the wall and not being able to get the cords like behind it, or the airline tubing, like I had it too close. So I couldn't run anything up the back of it. That was aggravating. I had to take it all down, drain the aquarium so I could scoot it out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Also, Rohan's asking something. I'm sorry, go ahead. There went my brain. Went somewhere else. I was trying to figure out what NLS food was.
Yeah, I don't know.
NLS. Did you see that one, Father Fish?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
NLS food brand. Coloration results. Yeah, I got the coloration thing nailed. Right here. This is the additive for coloration, guys. Just got it in the mail. And this is what all the fish foods use.
So you just sprinkle it in the tank, or do you like actually prepare it in the food?
You put it in the food. You mix it in the food. I don't know. They might eat it. I have no idea. It's peppers. Is all it is. It's red peppers. Paprika.
Oh, New Life Spectrum. Okay.
Color additive. New Life Spectrum, right. I also got in the mail. We were talking about Planaria.
Oh, yeah.
Got the No Planaria. Now all I need is some Planaria. If anybody has a Planaria problem, give me a call and I'll send them some Planaria meds.
I did have it, but I don't think I do anymore. That's pretty cool.
I don't know if GRB is recommending the styrofoam to place under all your fish tanks. I guess when you're doing the racks.
Putting it up under to support your bottom glass. Because I think like over there, I don't know, but it seems like in other areas, they don't have like the frames around our aquarium, like around aquariums like we do. Like we get these. And theirs are a lot of times are just glass, with no external frame around it. So I know, like, MD, all them, they're always putting something down before they put an aquarium up.
Yeah.
Styrofoam. I use styrofoam. I use it a lot. And if it's a really big tank, I'll use a 2-inch thick sheet of styrofoam. Like my 4x8s that I had set up, I used I used 4 by 8 foot sheets of 2-inch thick styrofoam. It's not very expensive. You can get it all the way down to 1/4 of an inch. I don't recommend anything much under 1/2 an inch. You're kind of wasting your time. But it does balance. It allows, if you've got any kind of variation at all on that platform, it'll level it out. So it's really a good thing to do.
Dry or wet? Oh, paprika arrived. Dry or wet?
I don't know. Rohan, give more information.
I was trying to figure it out too. Come up and talk to us, Rowan.
People do like shorthand, and then we're like decoding what they're saying.
Million and Sons wants to know if there's anything interesting to know about bleeding heart tetras. Well, their hearts don't bleed, so we start. They're not liberals, if you will.
Do they feel sorry for other tetras?
That was bad. I haven't noticed. I don't think they're particularly empathic at all. They are one of the earliest tetras that came into the hobby. I remember bleeding hearts when I was a kid. So they were a common tetra, an easy one, relatively easy one to get. And they are interesting, of course, because they got a big red spot in the middle of their body. It's rarely, if ever, shaped like a heart, but it's a big red spot. And they're a pretty fish. They're a nice little fish. Interesting to know about them.
Sharpie says that he's got planaria. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Here's a link,
has
Father Fish, if you want to show a picture.
What?
I just sent a link if you want to show a picture of the red heart tetra or bleeding heart. Those look similar to the candy cane ones, but with the spot in the middle.
Yeah, it's a pretty fish.
I've not seen them. I don't get fish like that.
Nice. What are we doing time-wise here? 8:58.
Yeah, if you want to take a break, you can.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. Let's play a little tune or two. Let's see what we got here. Let's do Foxy and Fishy.
Out in the shore, the people are kind. They'll treat you to take fruit and help you unwind. And if you come broken, they'll see that you know. I wish I was with them again. Can't wait to be with you again. In the town of Baltimore lived a man of the sea, and he told us of his life in the land by Chesapeake. So we searched up on YouTube till we found his tank so clean, and we smiled, we found our way on Father Fish's fun life stream. We all love Father Fish's great life stream. He keeps his tank so clean,
The plants, they are so green. We all love his fluffy beard, it is so white. His eyes, they are so bright. He always keeps it tight. And our friends are all aboard. Many more of them, they still snore. But to watch him on replay. Do 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 do. We all love Father Fish, his great life stream. His tanks, they are so clean. The plants, they are so green. We all love his fluffy beard, it is so white. He always keeps it tight. His eyes are so bright. As we live the life fishy. Everyone!
Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out.
In the town of Baltimore lived a man of the sea, and he told us of his life in the land by Chesapeake. So we searched up on YouTube till we found his tank so clean, and we smiled, we found our way on Father Fish's fun life stream. We all love Father Fish's great life stream. He keeps his tank so clean, the plants, they are so green. We all love his fluffy beard, it is so white. His eyes, they are so bright. He always keeps it tight. And our friends are all aboard. Many more of them, they still snore. But to watch him on replay. Do 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 do. We all love Father Fish, his great life stream. His tanks, they are so clean. The plants, they are so green. We all love his fluffy beard, it is so white. He always keeps it tight. His eyes are so bright. As we live the life fishy. Everyone!
I love it. I love it. All right, here's the ad. For those
Ever
of you
visit a place that was so different you just didn't want to leave? Step into the amazing world of Father Fish Aquarium. You'll be mesmerized by his exotic collection of saltwater and freshwater creatures, tanks and accessories, plus birds, lizards, turtles, and more. You'll never find another place like it on dry land. Father Fish Aquarium, 536 East Venice Avenue. You won't want to go home.
We're back.
So-
Sorry.
that was an ad that was done almost 10 years ago by a professional outfit here in Venice. You may recognize the voice. You probably heard it hundreds of times. That's Ed the Voice, who's a professional voiceover. And in any case, it's on another Father Fish channel called The Father Fish that I started many years ago and abandoned many years ago. So we're going to link it up and start posting on it. We'll have a second channel with things like our vlogs and that sort of stuff. That'll be fun. Yes, Cassie, what's up?
What?
What do you?
I'm trying to find the other one.
Ward Dunlop said, do assassin snails ship well?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, nothing seems to be shipping well. I'm trying to work out a better way to ship because the Postal Service has become worthless for shipping anything live or or perishable. I'm going to try UPS, see if they do better. I've got to go talk to them and see if they will guarantee second day for a relatively reasonable rate. And we'll go with whoever can do that. Postal Service used to guarantee priority second day, 3rd a.m. at the latest. Now it's upwards of 5 days. They used to ship ground in state, deliver it the next day. Now again, it's 5 days if ever. I had a camera shipped to me from Lakeland, which is 75 miles north of me, by Postal Service. 2 weeks later, it had not arrived. We finally contacted them and canceled it. So it's become a pretty worthless service.
Yeah.
Which may be exactly what they're about. They may be trying to shut themselves down. I don't know. Would seem to be there are an awful lot of employees with the Postal Service that would have a vested interest in keeping their service a quality service, but apparently not. Go ahead, Mary Page.
Oh, I think I shared the other link for more of our Throwback Thursday. I don't know if that's the one we just played, but there's another one. I don't know. I just dropped it. I don't know if you saw it or not.
The other one's 15 seconds. Let's play that. That's interesting.
Let's see what this one is. One of them really shows the shot. You're talking in the beginning of it, talking about the move. Throwback Thursday. Is this one different?
Hi, this is Father Fish. We have moved. We're in a beautiful location.
I never saw this.
East Venice Avenue, between the bypass and the Venice Bridge. We're not on the island, but we're just close to it. Come on down and see all of the wonderful new attractions at Father Fish Aquarium. We have a massive atrium that will have birds in it. We've got a showroom. We have lots of saltwater, including coral reefs, some reptiles, birds, lots of things to look at, lots of things to see and think about, and lots of new pets for you. So come visit us as soon as you can. We're here from 9 in the morning until 6:30 in the evening, weekdays, 9 to 5 and 12 to 4 on weekends. See you soon. Thanks.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, that was
Remember
nice.
That is so cool.
I don't think I ever saw that. Actually.
Really?
Really? Yeah.
There's that one. There's one where you set up a saltwater tank. There's one for gentle acclimation where you show. Yep. And then the betta wall that Cassie said she had seen that one.
So they're all on that.
They're on, and it's the Father Fish, but it's still. I couldn't get it to pull up until I pulled it up the one way. It was like the move or something like that. That's how I found it. It was a Father. I can't remember. It was that first link though.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it linked. We'll have it linked to our channel later on today. I don't think that's a complicated thing to do, and for some reason I never thought to do it. So we're going to do it. It'll be done. Gee, I never saw that. I was looking at the trying to figure out where it was standing and what it was really looking at.
Were you
really kind
Were you in that office? Were you in the office right there?
No, I wasn't. I was out in the Dragon sales area, right inside the door. Which is, I don't think it's ever looked like that. Maybe that day. I don't know.
The humble beginnings.
Yeah, it all changes so much. It just
That's pretty neat.
I can't remember back to anything. Yeah, thank you very much. That's really pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat that I found something you don't even remember. That's cool.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, LP Lurking is worried about her snails with the planaria if she uses the No Planaria stuff.
Yeah. Who was it? Alexander Lee was talking about they
Yeah,
had
it's
used
not
it.
supposed to. It's not supposed to affect snails. I don't know. Let's see what it says.
Yeah. Who was it? Alexander Lee was talking about they had used it.
It's not supposed to. Let's see what it says. Keep out of reach of children. Dose every 24 hours. Keep planaria without without harming shrimp and plants. Doesn't say anything about snake.
Okay.
Safe and biodegradable. The main ingredient is betel nut palm extract.
I don't know what that is.
I think I would start a new tank and move your shrimp to that tank instead of taking out the snails.
Right.
Probably be easier than trying to get all the, those Malaysian trumpet snails out.
Yeah, if you're going to use it, I would move anything. If you got rabbit snails, my God, they're expensive. I would take them out.
Raven had some wigglers, and I guess she just bought a fish, and I guess the owners weren't very happy that she got the fish that had the babies, maybe.
Word Up wants to know if it's an archonic. Lord knows. I don't know, and I'm not about to find out. What are wigglers? Oh, that's interesting. T-Bone wants to know what wigglers are.
Yeah.
That's cool. When an egg layer deposits eggs on a surface or scatters eggs, typically, not in all cases, but typically, particularly if it's a nest, the parents like Oscars or discus or angels or any of those kinds of discus, if they make a nest and lay eggs, when the eggs hatch, the little zygotes cannot swim. So the parents keep them in a little ball on the bottom. They'll scoop out a little trench and deposit them in it to keep them safe. And then they'll periodically take them in their mouth and rinse them off and scoot them back in the pile. And you'll see this tiny little mass of wiggling, wriggling mass that are referred to as wigglers. That's the wiggler stage, where they just lay there and quiver about like this 100 times a second. They're flapping their tails. And the egg yolk is so big that they can't get up off the ground. So they're continuing to grow. In a day or two, sometimes 3 days, that egg yolk will completely be absorbed, and they'll grow more fins. They'll get a little bigger, and they'll actually begin then to be able to swim. So they'll come up off the bottom. That's the swimmer stage. Once they're up off the bottom, then they're able to eat. Prior to that, as wigglers, they cannot eat. So you don't ever want to put food in that little wiggling mass, because all it'll do is foul things up and make the parents work double duty to try to keep it clean. So the wiggler stage is the first stage of a baby fish's life when it hatches out in a nest. Any of the nesting fish will have babies that go through that stage. And it occurs because the baby hatches out of the egg before it's fully developed. There are other cases where the baby takes longer to hatch out of the egg because it develops more in the egg. such that when it hatches out, it's able to swim. Clownfish, saltwater clowns, are an example of that. They take, I don't remember how long, 20 days, I think, to hatch, so that when they swim out, they're moving. I mean, when they hatch out, they immediately dart off. The issue with them is if they can't find food immediately, they die within hours. They have completely absorbed all of their available nutrition. Nothing is left. They have to be able to eat instantly. So they have to be in an environment that's very, very thick and rich in food. Oh, skin.
Are you reading all the comments about Cass and Sharpie were talking about the beetle, what was it, beetle nut juice? And it's a hallucinogen.
Yeah, they
Something.
started talking about beetle nut. And it just reminded me of the beetle, the blister beetle.
Well,
Sharpie
I've got it here. It's available. Only $49.95. And if you'll take this, it will alleviate the necessity of having a $49.95 brine shrimp hatchery. You'll be able to hatch brine shrimp in your ears.
Yeah.
Or hold them in your hands.
Yeah, in your collarbone right here. You can put a little puddle in your collarbone.
Collarbone, right.
Hey, GRB said the beetle nut popular hallucinogen with papaya, New Guinea, and Northern Australia natives. So that's pretty weird. I mean, pretty wild.
Weird too.
And then Sharpie says, hence the star name Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice Guys. I can't say that.
Beetlegeist.
Beetlegeist. There we go. We do have a question at 9:15, I think. Yep. From Fish and Shrimp by Rich. Father Fish, how would you set up a 10-gallon planted Neo shrimp tank?
I'm not a good one to ask. I don't do well with shrimp.
Yeah, I think he said that before.
Yeah, that's why I was sitting there thinking.
Alex is here. Alex would do it. You know, I would do it as a dirty deep substrate because that's just solid for everything.
Yeah. That would come with the free.
One of the critical things about shrimp that I do know is you have to have, or ought to have, large plants, like tall plants, or bunch plants, or guppy grass, or something like that in the water column, because shrimp do not swim. They can dart, but they cannot swim. So they're not going to be able to go up and into the water column. They climb. So if you have things in the water column for them to climb on, you'll be able to house more of them. Who had that big long, where was it? 40A.
Yeah, at 9:18.
Question, but I forget every day. I got a dehumidifier.
Just answering it.
Ensuring that it's safe to top off tanks with that water. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think Corey did a video why you don't want to use water from a dehumidifier, but I don't remember the reason.
I don't know. If your filter, your air filter is intact, a couple of things. If your air filter is intact and pulling out particulate matter, and if the evaporating coil is not copper, if the evaporating coil is copper, then it's going to leach copper into the water, and that water will be toxic. So that's a real consideration. I would suggest if you're going to try it, because it is a fairly substantial amount of essentially reverse osmosis or distilled water, that you experiment with it a little bit. The reality is that while it'll produce a gallon a day, a gallon of distilled water is only about 25 cents at Publix, so it's not a big savings. Try it. That's the sort of thing you need to experiment with to see if it's going to be useful and effective. So I would not try it by pouring it into your main community tank with 500 fish in it. I would try it in a very small container with one guppy in it. Do something reasonable to see if if the fish are going to be able to tolerate the water. It will be 7.0 pH. It will have no carbonates in it. It will be the same as distilled water. So it raises the issue of whether you want to be using distilled water in your system. There may be some reason to do that. So just consider your options when trying it.
I would look it up a little more because I heard don't do it.
Yep. Sharpie said dehumidifiers are notorious for hosting Legionnaire's disease too, if not kept clean.
Yeah, I dare say fish don't get Legionnaire's disease, but
called pink ivy.
Nevertheless,
stop licking the tanks.
Really?
Sorry.
Or stop drinking the water, right?
Yeah.
Get Thomas.
Hey, T-Bone, come up and show us your new plant.
Alan Matthews says, I've been using water from my dehumidifier for years to top off for evaporation. No minerals in the DH. Mine has an aluminum coil. So, yeah, and most of them I'm sure do have aluminum coils, and they're going to be pretty safe. So, the critical thing would be to make sure the air filter in it is kept clean, so you're not pulling all the dust out of the air and dumping it into the fish tank. Although that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, anything like this that you want to know about, set up an experiment. Try to control the variables so you know what you're experimenting for. For example, if you've got fish in 8.0 water and you want to see if dehumidifier water will work, don't put the fish in straight dehumidifier water because the pH is going to be different, and that'll be a variable that you don't want to test for. You're testing for the water quality, not the pH. So you want to stabilize the pH, do it by mixing with some of your water, and when you test it, do it with a small test, not a big test. Do it with something that you can control and see how it goes. If you put that guppy in there and it dies in one day, then check your variables. Make sure you've not done something you did not anticipate, and maybe try it one more time. If it dies again, then that would be pretty good evidence that it ain't going to work for you. But again, it's your hobby, and you need to learn. You need to learn how to test and try things on your own. You're kind of a scientist or a farmer, really. That's what farmers do. Farmers are always trying new ways of doing things to try to make it better for their animals. So do that. Take an experimental approach. Do what's basic and what you know works. Try new things, but don't try them. I've done that before. I've said, wow, what a great idea. And I throw it into the big tank and everything dies. So I knew it wasn't such a great idea after all. But if I tried it on something in a much more limited way, I would have taken the loss and not felt nearly as totally self-destructive about it. So be reasonable, experiment, try things out, do it in a way that's not going to create a lot of problems for yourself. but experiment with stuff.
Think
And Jack and Dan is also adding to the conversation at 9:24. Father Fish.
Who?
Jack and Dan.
Oh, got it. We had a 180 in the basement, and the Dehum would allow me to use the water to top it off. Had a direct runoff tube. Did not use the water collection container. Yeah, I've done that. Frankly, I like dehumidifier water. But again, it's important to know what the dehumidifier coil is, because if it's copper, it's going to be toxic. And some of the better quality dehumidifiers do have copper in them. The more expensive ones are more dangerous for your fish. Curiously, the cheaper ones are likely to be safer. But you need to experiment. You need to try it to see whether it's going to work for you. Interesting, Jack and Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And Abolish Aquatics at 9:25.
Got it. Do you find that gobies have to have a power head type flow? Gobies are typically, freshwater gobies come from streams. They don't come out of, for the most part, they don't come out of ponds or lakes. They come out of running water. So, yeah, if you've got power head, that little animal is going to be feeling much more at home and much more as if they're in a natural environment. They're used to that kind of flow, used to swimming against it, and can adhere to rocks or the side of the glass or whatnot in order to not expend energy. So they're able to hold on and have the water rushing over them. They also eat that way too. They depend on things coming by them that they're able to snag. They're pretty quick little fish. Any fish that lives in running water like that is a very, very fast swimming fish. So they have a different kind of behavior than like an angel, for example, that lives in still water. That's true of saltwater gobies as well. Sharpies is saying the pipes are oxidized internally or coated with a layer of limescale, so it isn't a problem.
I see. I think that was all the questions. I like aquarium cops.
And people were just going on and saying that you're providing valuable education here, Father Fish.
Yep.
Wonderful.
My aquarium cop is saying, yep, we're all chefs. Our ingredients are for our glass box of soup. May work for me, but not for you.
Right.
Well, it's exactly right. That's a really good point. And I think one we all have to just take seriously. You know, getting started is one thing. Getting someone started in the hobby, you want to do a couple of simple things to get started. And then once you get 6 months to a year down the road, you want to begin trying other things. And that's the point where you begin experimenting. That's really the point where you begin learning. If you're simply setting up that tank using Father Fish's method, and you got fish in it and they're doing fine, and you're following all the basic rules, you're really not learning anything. You're following some basic, you're really not. You're just following, some basic rules. But you're not learning why those rules work. Until you do something that fails and then sit there and say, uh-oh, what did I do? What made that happen? And figure it out. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just never know. But for some people, keeping a log is helpful. Every time they do something, they make a note. If you go back and look, you'll see, aha, I did this and this. I'd never done that before. And I got, and this happened pursuant to that. So, maybe that's what caused it. So you try that again, you get the same result, and then you got pretty good evidence. That's what the scientific method is. Let me say something about that, because this is really important. People are fond of saying that you have to follow the science. Well, let me suggest to you that there is no science. There is no science. There is the scientific method. And the scientific method is trial and error. You try something, you get a result. You try it again, you get the same result. You try it with a little variation, you get a different result. What you're learning is what happens when you do this. This is what happens. That's the scientific method. That's what all of these scientists do in the laboratory. They don't build up a body of truth. They build up a body of experiences of A follows B if A is whatever it is, then B occurs. So it's a method. It's a methodology. It's a way of learning how to do things, but it is disprovable. That is to say, unless the system, the test that's being done is disprovable by changing a variation, getting a different result, then the test is not valid. In other words, if you do A and you get B, and then you do A and you get B, and you do A and you get B, and then you do A plus C and you get B, then you know that A does not cause B. You know there's another variable. In other words, your scientific hypothesis, A equals B, has been disproven. You've proven it by getting B as a result of something different from simply doing A. So the scientific method it's a methodology, it's a system, it's a way of learning how to do things. It's not a body of truth like a religion that you adhere to and say, oh my God, the science is wear a mask. Well, for many people, wearing a mask is helpful. For other people, it causes COPD. I can't wear a mask because it makes me pass out. So A does not equal B in my case. There are variables. There are no absolutes because everything has exceptions to it. Enough of that. Thank you, Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics, for the super sticker. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Jack and Dan had a follow-up to their, remember the other day they were talking about their rope fish had a parasite?
Yes.
Yeah.
They said they ended up going to the local LFS. Let's see, where did it go? It's at 931. By the way, we went to our local LFS about the rope fish, and they gave us an anti-parasitic, basically flagyl and diflucan mixture, and I got rid of those worms instantly. 5 days later, they're still good.
Nice.
Did you figure out exactly what the worm was? Was it just a fluke, or what was that? We never saw a picture of it, did we?
Yeah, that's a fluke medication.
Yeah.
Flat and Diflucan. Yeah.
I'm glad the fish is doing better.
Yeah.
I will. I need to get some of these things in stock.
And Ward Dunlap wants to know if we can hatch some brine shrimp in our cups.
In a mug.
In our mugs.
No. I defy you to have brine shrimp in a father fish mug.
That's too nice of a container.
No, these are coffee mugs.
Yeah.
They're coffee mugs.
That's a
Yeah.
$25 brine shrimp hatchery.
There you go. You're allowed to put tea in it. You're not allowed to put brine shrimp in it. Sorry, guys. Now, Lee put it in his fish tank and put
And
fish
aquarium cup.
in
Yeah.
aquarium. And Vinny. Vinny was the first one that thought of it, but he got his cup last. So, but we give him credit for it. And the fish are going down. That's pretty cute.
It was funny.
It pretty well.
It was so funny.
Yeah, as a $25 ornament for your tank, that's acceptable.
Aquarium Cop got it glowing. He put you under the glow lights too. That was pretty good.
Funny.
Oh, Jack and Dan said they did a video too, and they have a shout out for you in it this morning that they did.
Thank you so much, guys.
So we have to watch that one here in a little while. Have we dropped their link? Let me see here. Hey, Aquafunk and Zyphorus, they've come in.
Sharpie, the real learning comes when you try to and start to understand the whys and wherefores. Somebody jump on people on Facebook for something, but they're just repeating parrot fashion, not understanding. Yeah, you know, that is so vital. Parroting what you heard somewhere. You know, I deal with this every single day, and I deal with it personally. And I try as hard as I can to separate out in my mind what someone has said that I've read or heard from what I have actually done and discovered for myself. And I try to stick to the latter and not the former. I try not to simply parrot what I've heard someone else say. Now, there are times when I do it, I don't catch myself at it, and it just gets out there. And, you know, I hope 90% of the time it's true. But I'm sure there are times when it's not. I'm sure you can go back, and I don't dread this, but I wonder about it because I know I've said things that are not true. Occasionally, Chevy Fish will call me on it. She's pretty good. Or Amanda Fox. What is her?
Precious Tranquility.
Thank you, Precious Tranquility.
I was trying to unmute.
Yeah, she calls me on stuff. Do not be afraid to do that. I prefer to be called on things, particularly when I've said something kind of off the cuff that I haven't really given serious consideration to. And sometimes I'll do that. I try not to do it, but I do it. It just gets away from me. And the older I get and the foggier I get, probably the more I do it. So if you hear me say something you disagree with, say, hey, Father Fish, I disagree with that. And I will be happy to engage you. And the ladies know to look for that and to find that and to throw that in front of me to make me stumble over it. You can play gotcha with Father Fish. I'm okay with that.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I get confused every now and then. Like yesterday, you said don't put the goldfish in the pond. And then Precious Tranquility said, add koi and goldfish. Going, what did I do?
Well, she's a fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
She wants every body of water to have 50-pound koi in it. My sense was that there got to be some big bass in there. I mean, there's no such thing as a dwarf bass. You may have only caught little ones because big ones are too smart.
Yeah, I know.
They're in there. There are 5-pound bass in there. I guarantee it.
I told my husband we need to get like a little submarine and put a camera on there and go exploring and see what's in there.
Perfect.
That would be neat.
is that water pretty clear?
It depends. If it's been really hot or we get a lot of rain, you know, it'll throw off the balance and it'll get where you can't really see very well. But
Yeah, wash in
Oh,
Detrius.
40.
That'd be
Oh.
fun to do, wouldn't it?
it'd be interesting to see. I'm curious.
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah, and you only need to get around structure. You get around some trees that fallen into the water, that sort of thing. That's where you'll see the bigger fish lurking.
Yeah. Word Dunlap had a question at 9:40 about, is long stringy white poop that stays attached for long periods a sign of a parasite infection? Should I look with a microscope?
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, it can be, and usually is. Usually, it's a sign that there's some kind of internal parasite.
Yep.
Feeding garlic can help with that. Mixing garlic in with your food. This new food, the Prime that we have, that has an antibacterial in it. It may not be parasite; it might be bacteria. Some treated, medicated food can help as well, and those are things that are not dangerous for your tank. You can feed that kind of stuff to everybody.
Oh, I know. Alan says, love it when someone asks a question and then argues because they don't get the answer they want. I'm going, I went through that just with doing math homework with my son.
Yeah.
He asks for help and then gets mad when I'm like, hang on, this doesn't make sense.
Oh, Lord, I remember that. I remember asking my father to help me solve a math problem.
Yeah.
He was a very logical person, but he was not. He dropped out of school in about the 6th grade, and then he did go to college, to seminary for a special training program. He was well educated, but educated himself, much like Abe Lincoln, I guess. But he helped me solve that problem. And I remember going in school the next day and showing the teacher my solution. And she was very upset with me because I didn't figure it out the right way.
I don't know. They're making these kids nowadays do it a whole different way that we were never taught to do it. And then they're teaching them both ways. And I'm going, well, how confusing is that?
Really?
Just learn it one way, please.
Yeah, I decided at that point in time that I respected my father more than my teacher. So I was going to keep doing it the way he showed me. And yesterday I solved the problem. One of these things that pops up, the math quiz about Alice and Charles do a job in 4 hours. Charles and Ben do it in 6 hours. And Alice and Charles do it in 3 hours. How much time would it take for all three of them working on it? And I figured it out. And then I went to the video and watched the answer. And it did not come near the approach that I took to solving it. I figured out how much time each of them would take to do it by themselves. And then I worked it out from there. They didn't do that. They just did a formulaic approach. Never really understood anything. It was just a formula. So they never get to know Alice at all. And I thought it was really important when I discovered that Alice was working 5 times harder than anybody else. I thought that was pretty important to figure out, but they didn't.
I just want to make one point and get off of Common Core.
Yeah.
My son last night he's learning multiplication. So he's doing like 300 and something, 15, let's say, multiplying it by 3. And then, so he multiplied the first 2 correctly, but forgot to, he did the carry, but he forgot to put the carry right next to the answer. So it was like 6 something. So his answer came out to like 182. And I was like, does that make sense though? You got 180 and you're multiplying 300 times 3. You came up with something smaller than 300. So it's like logic is out the window here. I'm like, I'm not sure if they're teaching them, double check your work. Does it make sense logically to get that answer?
Yeah, and that's right. And that's really what my father taught me, was to figure it out, to understand it, to figure out what the issue is and what you're dealing with. And I think that gets lost in this formulaic approach. This is a formula, apply that to everything. And you never really learn anything at all. You don't understand that if you got these 3 people standing in front of you and you're going to hire one of them, which one you going to hire? You're going to hire Charles because he's big and strong. You're going to hire Bill because Bill sounds good, or you're going to hire little tiny Alice over here who's just standing there looking angry. When if you discover what they're capable of, you hire Alice because she's a hell of a worker, and the other 2 are bums. I mean, come on, people, really.
Nobody's got any ethic anymore. Well, we all do, but there's a lot out there that don't.
Yeah, but he didn't like my answer, so he started getting mad at me. I was like, why are you getting mad at me? I'm just trying to help you understand this logically.
Right. Think about it. And that's the problem with any kind of formulaic approach. It prevents you from understanding, from thinking about, from being rational. And it's understanding things, thinking about them, being rational that is the key to being able to survive in this mad world we're in. Let me give you a real simple example. Go to Joe Rogan. I can't remember who he's interviewing. Some guy with a big beard. Big guy with a big beard. It's a 3-hour interview. Astounding. He's talking about the environment, about global warming and global chilling, global freezing, if you will. And he says something really interesting. He says they've studied temperatures going back 25,000 years. They know in any 10-year slice of time what the temperature was. And every single time the temperature got warmer, the population increased, the food increased, the health of the entire environment increased. People got wealthier. There was more wildlife. Just everything got better. So the very notion that global warming is a negative is scientifically verifiably false. It's false. Global warming creates greater wealth, greater life, healthier life, stronger life, more vitality, greater populations, a wider range of animal and plant life than its alternative. There is no such place as right there forever. It's either here or it's here, or it's going from one to the other. And the other thing that came out of this discussion is that we are 2,000 years down the road in a global warming period from it starting to get cold. Historically, by now, we should be in a little ice age, and we're not. So it may very well be that all of the so-called pollution we're putting in the air is preventing us from entering an ice age. Test that one out and see if it has any validity. Think about it. Think about it. Use your brain. Think about it. Don't just decide because somebody you respect says something that you really want to believe that it must be true, because it's probably not. 9:51.
Well, and
Keep on going.
I also just couldn't figure out. My son solved the problem 2 ways and got the same wrong answer. And I'm like,
Oh dear. Oh dear.
how did you get the wrong answer? So I'm like, did you really do it? Or were you just kind of copying your work over?
Amen.
And Jack and Dan said something at 9:50.
Jack and Dan 9:50.
Yeah, before I became a wellness coordinator.
I saw that. That was kind of neat.
Yep. He's a nurse.
So they're
And
pushing the young
Mhm.
nurses out.
Oh, that's the comment.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. People being pushed through school and not
Mhm.
taught to think.
It's just
Not
like doctors.
Yep.
Good grief. They
Pop
just
up
push
the other
them.
pill poppers. Yeah.
Yeah, they just push them through, and they don't even. It just, I don't know. It makes me really mad. I can't even get on that subject.
Sharpie's looking forward to an ice age. He hates the heat. The ice age, 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago, the ice was piled so high on the continent, it was literally miles deep, covering Canada down into New York. Miles deep. The water level of the ocean was 400 feet lower than it is today. Think about this. The population of human beings was in every way comparable to the population of human beings today. Not numerically, but competently. We were the same creatures 10,000 years ago that we are right now. So we had cities and we had villages and we had commerce. And where was it all situated? It was situated at the edge of the water. Where was the edge of the water compared to where that edge of the water is today? 400 feet under the ocean. Have we examined things 400 feet under the ocean to determine whether there was human habitation there 10,000 years ago? Not by much, we haven't. Not by much. It's just amazing when you really think about things, what you can discover about life and the world we live in. Think about it. And that's what we keep. That's why we keep fish tanks. That's why we do it. To learn more about life. To learn more about how things do, how they function. You know, Peterson is fond of saying that the same kind of social interaction that lobsters have is duplicated in every other life form, all the way down to us, including beating each other up with their claws, I guess. But he's talking about basic root interaction. So when we look at fish and study them and see how they're interacting, it gives us an understanding of life, an understanding of our own part in that life, and things that influence and affect us as well. It's highly introspective. I think that's two things. I think that's why hobbyists tend to be nerds, and they tend to be hermits, and they tend to have a hobby that doesn't require or really even permit the intervention of anyone else,
Yeah.
except in the case of a couple, a husband and wife, who work together, and that's a special kind of bond and a special kind of relationship when it occurs in a fish tank. It's remarkable. But then taking all of that we have picked up and developed and learned and understood, what do we want to do with it? Why, by God, we want to share it. So what do? We get on YouTube and we create a channel and we call ourselves Father Fish.
And something beautiful happens.
Well, at best. At best.
It gives you a platform to share things you would have never shared before, or even people would have never even known about.
Yeah, it's really why I did the store too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like me with my fish tanks. Nobody'd even know I had a fish tank if it wasn't for y'all. I sit in my room, I take care of the grandkids and work at home. So I don't go anywhere, especially with what the times are right now. I didn't go out and make a bunch of friends since I've moved here to Virginia, because we've basically been here in the house the whole time. So I love it.
Right, my dear
I
friend.
love it.
Let's see. Music of Father Fish. Let's do the
Play the commercial one more time. Jack and Dan didn't see it. The one that shows the store. The last one. If Jack and Dan and here Fishy came in.
I think I like the last one a little better.
Yeah, the one that shows the store before. I like that. That was the one you said you hadn't seen before. And who else was it said they didn't see it?
I didn't save that.
Oh, you didn't?
Let me.
You hadn't seen that one.
Oh no, the one you just played a minute ago.
I played it, but I didn't save it. I should have saved it.
I don't know if this is the. I don't know if this is the right one, but let's try it.
Was GRB here yesterday? Because he was asking if anyone's doing anything for Halloween.
Oh yeah. Oh, here's Oddball Aquatics.
Yeah, we're gonna dress up for Halloween, GRB.
On Saturday, and you better be dressed up, and you're coming up on the screen with us.
But I won't be here. We still have some practice.
Hello.
Is that the one?
I think so.
I'm totally lost here now.
It's okay.
Oh well. I need
anything you want, Father Fish.
We need a Science Gal and Oddball Aquatics and all these folks to come up with us one day. Science Gal comes in every day, and I'd love for her to come up with us.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Here it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah. Now,
there it is.
This is only the second time I've seen this, so this kind of blows my mind. I didn't even remember having done it. Let me get the volume up. We'll start it over.
We're in a beautiful location.
Here we go.
Hi, this is Father Fish. We have moved. We're in a beautiful location on East Venice Avenue between the bypass and the Venice Bridge. We're not on the island, but we're just close to it. Come on down and see all of the wonderful new attractions at Father Fish Aquarium. We have a massive atrium that will have birds in it. We've got a showroom. We have lots of saltwater, including coral reef trays, some reptiles, birds, lots of things to look at, lots of things to see and think about, and lots of new pets for you. So come visit us as soon as you can. We're here from 9 in the morning until 6:30 in the evening, weekdays, 9 to 5 and 12 to 4 on weekends. See you soon. Thanks.
Father Fish, you are precious. You are just precious. I love you.
Yeah, that was very good. I like that.
It was, yeah, I could tell they were professionally done. I'll have to get you the list of them so we can watch them all.
I did. Yeah, I did not. Well, we'll have it off. We'll have the link.
It's under the Father Fish.
Right.
It's kind of hard to find, but
Well,
I wonder if he can. join them together and make like all the subscribers and everything, and watch time go with yours.
I don't know if we can do that. We can link it.
Okay.
So we will link it. What is this? Do we want
Is that the contest, maybe?
No, it's not.
And I think GRB has a special one for us on Saturday too. So.
Grow a beard, he said.
Mary,
Here we go.
Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
I love it.
Us dancing. Nobody else dancing.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break.
I'm out.
I didn't follow.
I forgot my part. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I like when he's grooving now. Look at him.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk
Go,
about
Father Fish.
Let's talk about all the things that may be.
Conserving energy.
Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Yeah. Thank you all for being with us today. It's been great
Love you
fun.
all.
Yes, love you all. Let's do the competition. Give people a chance to learn a little more about that. Do be sure to enter. This is going to be great fun. We're all going to be a part of it, and there will be cash prizes. Cash prizes.
Woohoo!
Whoop-de-doo. See you all in the morning. God bless.
Whoop-de-doo.
Bye for now.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Hello, Peck Tech.
And goodbye, Peck Tech. We love you.
Peck Tech needs to come up and join us.
You bet. And thank you, Aquarium Conquest. What
Yes.
fabulous work. I love that fish.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida, it's illegal.
Just beautiful.
That's the Arapima. That one's about 12 inches long.
It's just beautiful. They're all beautiful.